Alright, so I'm going to give you a rundown on my small three-wheeler collection. So this is my rider, 85 110. This one runs. Got it from someone who got it from the original owner. We bought it from someone who said they got it from their girlfriend's uncle. Runs good. It has most of the pieces. Comes with a toolbox as well. And it costed $200. Had a Chinese carb on it, swapped it out for OEM. The rear light doesn't work. Front one I had to swap out because it was completely rusted out, and this one's getting rusted too. Fenders are faded and cracked. Stitched that one side, got to stitch that one. Seat is, it's there. And this is a 125 tank because the original one was beautiful on the outside, but it had a giant hole in it. Runs good. 126 compression, I think, last time I checked. Had to switch the shift lever because as you can see, this grab bar is, someone hit it with a stump. It's probably why I was parked. It sat for 6 years outside. It probably looked nice. It probably didn't have as faded fenders, I would say. And these are the original tires that came out, not the OEM ones, but this is from when I bought it. I swapped those out because these ones are just too stiff, but they still hold air, and they actually have holes. They have holes in the rims. And I want to show you what I mean when there's holes in the rims. I mean it. Look at this. You see this tape here? So there was a hole. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, let me show you on this side. This side's worse. See this? Yeah, there's a giant hole in there. And this is just... And these tires have plugs in them. These things are just holding together because they're stiff. And they're tubeless. They're tubeless. They're not tubed, they're tubeless. So it is just so old that it is just holding itself together. And I rode this. I did power slides on this thing. And the tires still held on. That's some great engineering right there. Anyways, this is my also 85 125M. So I got this one for $200. Stole the recoil off another one. The engine's open. This one's a dud. This engine is cooked. So let me elaborate on what I mean when this engine's a dud. So I have video. So I had it on, and this is partially also my fault, and also a Chinese carburetor fault. You know, when you combine a teenager and a Chinese carburetor and a promise to try and get this thing running by the end of the day, you know, you get some corners cut where there can't afford to be corners cut. So basically I drilled out the idle jet on accident to the size of a main jet, so it was way too rich. But this thing has 45 compression, a PSI. It literally has almost no resistance on it. And you know that main bolt sticks in here to hold that grab bar that the recoil grabs onto? It's snapped off inside of the crank. I didn't know that. You know, I'm not used to these 125 engines. I didn't know that. So I ran this thing and it was spinning. It was at the RPM meter on idle too. Whenever you put the gas on it, it doesn't work. But anyways, it was spinning and this was spewing oil on me. And actually, don't tell anyone else this, but I checked the oil, and after I checked the oil again when we ran it, turns out there was basically no oil in it. So that was a rookie mistake there, but it still runs. And I compression checked beforehand. It didn't do anything to the cylinder. To those who are saying that, oh, I messed up the cylinder, you just cost yourself a rebuild. No, I was already cooked before that. And it wasn't shifting into neutral. I don't know if that's because it was going too fast. Please tell me, but, you know, it was kind of limp. I think that's just a clutch adjustment that I gotta do. But, yeah, and it's completely painted black. This part is all black. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not, just normal black paint, not even heat-resistant engine paint. But yeah, luckily the red parts were spared. I don't see any black paint on this. but the axle wasn't. There's black paint all over it. I'm gonna strip it down and see if there's even any zinc coating left on it, which I don't think there is. This seat, the foam's good-ish. I wish I could save the seat. It's too far gone. I can literally taste the pollen in my mouth. It is bad. This headlamp is mint. There's a slight bend right here, but I think that's from factory actually, because this would be shattered or something. The key is good shape, still flexible, still goes in there. Comes with the choke lever too, and it works pretty well. This neutral light still works. Front light works. Back one's missing. Story of my life. Yeah. But other than that, I got another trike to just steal the tires from. Seat is original, but I'll buy a new high quality aftermarket. Plastics are okay, not too faded. Tank is in great shape. It has some surface rust on it, on the inside, but it still has some of the zinc. Just got to deal with the brakes, as you can see. And yeah, aftermarket card that I just slapped on there. This is the 81 110 I have. This one I am somewhat restoring. I'm not sure on the condition of the tank yet. I bought it off eBay, and the last one I bought off eBay had a hole in it. So we'll see. This tire slowly leaks. Wanda aftermarket tires. This fender's not properly mounted. This one I'm just waiting to fix the seat. This one runs, but has a slight issue where it kind of smokes horribly. Alright, and then this engine, you might be like, what? You saying you rebuilt this engine and it smokes? And that's because, again, teenager, lack of money, and a three-wheeler. You know, I'm going to cut corners. So, I got a good gasket kit, and a good piston kit, but this cylinder is completely worn. So I just put lipstick on a pig and just threw it together. And this valve, the intake valve, I had to replace the valves. I took this thing like apart 8 times to try and figure out what's going on. It turns out the intake valve was cooked. It was super cupped, and I didn't even know that. You know, I was a new engine builder, don't blame me. And it don't shift as well. Like, it shifts when it wants to, you know? Like this a second ago was literally, you could spin the neutral indicator in and out. But other than that, it's a pretty solid engine, I would say. Smokes very bad. This one actually smokes worse, but it smokes. So yeah, that's the main majority of the three-wheelers. I also have this one for parts. Another one for parts right here. And I actually also have a 70 that I'm restoring. And a 200 in the corner here. You can see the 70 that I'm stripping down. Aftermarket random engine. Got it in a deal for free. Pretty nice. There's the 200. OEM Otsu tires on the 70 actually. But the rear two are cooked. The front was okay. 2003 KFX. Made a rebuild. Got all the plastics. Almost done. Some China parts, of course. YZ80. 93 Classic. Nice collector one. I'm going to make this my first dirt bike rider. Let's see. Got some tires. So this one is a Chinese one, and the people we bought it from said they had it running for 6 seconds. Looks like that. Cooked. Never run again. There's the plastics. This is what was originally on that 85. And this is the plastics for the 70. The front one's okay. This rear one, though, is just too far gone. So I want to elaborate more on this 125 on these three-wheelers. So this one you know, I got it for 200 bucks. Guy we bought it from, there's two people from a automotive shop, and they told me that they bought it from someone who probably bought it from the original owner, and they said they were going to restore it. Now, I think this one didn't need any restoring, because, I mean, look at the decals. That speaks for itself. Tank has literally a couple dings. Plastics are not cracked for the most part. I think this was only crashed once. Looks like someone fell sideways and something, you know, like they fell into a tree and it ripped up the seat and cracked the rear plastic. Other than that, I think that's it. Yeah, and the engine was landlord special, painted black completely. Very bad. Not good. The brakes didn't even come with the original brake. Actually, I have the original front tire. This is Pro-Am, but this one's too far gone. It's got a hole on the bottom. And the front axle is seized there. But other than that, it's pretty unmolested except for someone's failed restoration attempt. This one's pretty good, you know, pretty much untouched. I took off the tires from this one when I swapped it. Beautiful. The axle has all the zinc coating. It was properly greased, you know, so I wasn't fighting with it to pull it off. It was clean. This one is, bought it from someone who had a bunch of other, not vintage machines, not three-wheelers at least, but a bunch of old other junk, you know. And I fixed it up completely with my dad, first project. Pretty nice. It runs, but it smokes and it barely shifts. OEM carb. I'm gonna be putting in oversized rings on it. Just need a couple touch-ups. And you can see this thing's already started sagging more since the beginning of the vid. This one also came with the back latch. Pretty good deal, but this side is chipped, so it's not really holding on that part. Comes with the bumper too. That's good. Now, a little quirk about this one. I know that I said this is a park phone, but this was someone's racer back in the day. Look at that. It's got fork extenders. Well, both the front and the rear axle are clapped. I mean, I've never seen that before. The rear tires still hold air, surprisingly. They hold air better than my brand new China ones. So these are Dunlops. Probably was, you know, someone's, you know, amateur racer back then. Has an aftermarket key on it. Exhaust is rusted to crap. Pretty cool though. Pretty cool. Needs a new rebuild too. I think I'm gonna take at least the top end from this one and slap it on that one. The 125 in the middle. That's what I'm gonna do probably. Alright, this is the KFX. We bought it from two teenagers who were driving a lifted GMC Sierra with the Carolina squat. So you can take that as you will. Came with a bunch of parts, and I'm pretty sure this thing was stolen. Now, I mean, I got it in complete pieces, right, for 400 bucks, but it was a pretty good deal. Came with the plastics, set of pretty nice tires, even one OEM tire. Another set of front tires, plastic for a different bike. So yeah, lots of other goodies too. So once we sell that, we'll basically make even on it. So we completely rebuilt the engine. 50cc added big bore kit, new starter on it, new stator going to be installed, lots of new stuff, new radiator, basically a lot of new everything. Pretty nice. First racing sport quad. Just driving the little, you know, the little pit bikes of the Trike build, pretty much. Some YZ80. Another $200 find. I have the engine upstairs. Didn't come with the exhaust. I bought that off eBay and repainted it. I have the swing arm stuff here. I'm gonna put that in once I put the engine in, which I have pretty much all the parts for. Just need the crank. Rear wheel is totaled. I mean, I can't really show you right now, but the spokes are they're just not there. Front one is better, though I'll probably replace the spokes on that too. Repainted the frame, but I used cheap paint, so it's already scraping off. Suspension's pretty good on it. Nothing to really complain about. It'll be a nice first starter dirt bike. All right, and over here we have the 200E 83, and we got an 84 ATC 70. So this one, I believe I actually bought from basically the original owner. So the story is, we bought it from someone upstate, 150 bucks. You might be like, well, 150 bucks, you just got the frame. No, I got most of the parts for it, really. They're just upstairs. So this one was pretty much put in a barn for, I would say, since the 90s, I would believe. I mean, the plastics look like they ran over a tractor, but they had the engine open, and surprisingly only the top end was affected, but the cylinder was fine. It just needs a new head. And it's missing, you know, the usual stuff: skid plate, recoil, chain cover. It's got most of the other stuff though. And the guy we bought it from said that his friend died, and this was in the shed there. This was in the barn. And they wheelied it out on this bolt, not even the original front axle, but it has OEM Otsus. Again, front one is okay, back ones literally have cuts in them. This is 200E here. This one I bought for 100 bucks. Really only for the motor. Rear axle seized, of course. Engine seized, of course. I mean, it's literally just it's just a pile of metal. Exhaust is, of course, done. Front end is actually still free, surprisingly. It has whatever is left of the suspension. You know, there wasn't really much anyway. So yeah, that's my three-wheelers and some of my vintage stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna be making more trike content, maybe some riding videos. Probably just fixing up this 125 and this one here. And also wrapping up these two, the KFX and the dirt bike. Forgot to mention, this is what the tank from eBay, the first one I got from eBay, looks like. And there's pinholes all across of it. And we tried to solder it, but nope. The hole is too big, the metal is too gone. Not possible. Yeah. So if you couldn't tell, there's a bit of pollen in my area right now. Just a little. So yeah. Alright guys, I want to give you a final thank you for watching. If you could please support me, hit that like, you know, hit that sub button. That'd be pretty nice. Oh, one more thing. So I forgot to mention this person's restoration attempt, which probably was in the 90s even. You know, they just painted the whole thing black pretty much. This thing actually has a pretty mint exhaust on it. You could clearly read the warning label on the muffler, like clearly. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, that's the clearest one I've seen. But yeah, anyway. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting by watching to the end here. I know, first video, I'm still a little boring. You gotta bear with that. But yeah, I'm gonna be cleaning these in a few days once the pollen season is over for good. Thanks for watching, guys. I know I'll see you soon once I get that KFX running. Thanks for watching, guys.